Hello, everyone. Welcome to the college football show here on FantasyInsiders.com. It's our Friday night college football show sponsored by FantasyElite, the fantasy app that you can download on the App Store, not the iStore. I'm here with Natural Slugger, our writer, Ben Pritchett, and Jordan Case, who wrote a midweek article that's doing pretty good right now, except for his number one quarterback is currently not being swaggy, and it's hurting my lineups a little bit.
Give it time.
That's what she said? Question mark?
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I forget that David is here once we start the show. Like, his ghost voice just comes in, and I don't ever understand where it's coming from.
That's what she
said. Yeah, we're gonna talk about daily fantasy college football, and of course we're 7 minutes late, everyone, because we are on FI time. When we say 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, we mean 10:07.
Can I just say that I was ready on time? It was Ben.
Yeah, Ben needed to go get some more alcohol.
Well, no, it was more so Ben didn't have another episode where he had to pee in a bottle on live camera again. I don't want to ever expose anybody to that.
I've done it several times.
Have I taught you that, Davis? Am I bad?
You totally taught me that, but I'm a prideful person, so I don't ever admit it when it happens. But it's happened several times.
When was the last time it happened?
Baseball season. It was never when I lived here. It was always back in my old place.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty goat, IMO.
It takes skills to pull that off, though, to be honest.
It totally does, yeah.
It does. I'll give you that.
Well, and a couple times when I'd be on, like, the seasonal football shows, we'd go for, like, 2 hours. Like, dude, it just has to happen. But, I mean, that's no big deal. College football, though. Awesome slate. In my opinion, my most favorite thing in all of fantasy sports is when you get someone who plays at a more productive position listed at the wrong position on a site. And this week we have, three guys who are listed as wide receivers who are going to play quarterback, Ben?
You have... No, it's more like you have 3 guys listed as wide receivers that could impact in other areas is probably the way I would say.
Well, let's start the show there. Break down those 3 guys, because I think that is the number one most important thing that you're going to have to decide when you make your cash game lineups this week.
I'm actually really proud of the college football fan on Twitter, because it seemed like I put it out, hey, I found a sneaky wide receiver, and within minutes, everybody knew who it was and who it was going to be before salaries ever dropped, before we even knew the player pool. And sure enough, Greg Ward Jr., FanDuel didn't let us down. They put Greg Ward Jr. as a minimum wide receiver, even though he's going to be the starting quarterback for Houston against Memphis. And I know me and Davis talked about this, off air. The importance of a quarterback, especially a quarterback that can run the ball, listed as a minimum price wide receiver, brings his floor up to a level that it makes him just a must play across the board. I think anybody who recognizes that Greg Ward is playing this weekend, even against a good Memphis defense, and doesn't play him, you're making a mistake.
Okay, well, I saw some talk on Twitter about he might not play the whole game. Like, if he's bad, he might get pulled. What's up with that?
That's definitely true.
Yeah, and in that situation, I guess there is that chance, but he's still going to have impact as a third wide receiver, or second wide receiver, I believe. I think Daniel Spencer's injured. So he could easily get back into the passing game as a wide receiver, even if he's sucking.
Yeah, but he could also just go 3 completely ineffective drives at quarterback and then get pulled. And
yeah,
then get 2 points
I
from
hope
him.
people think like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like, this is what's happening. People are looking a gift horse in the mouth. Yes. And they did this with Brandon Mitchell too. I think it was only happened one time last year for NC State. Brandon Mitchell was terrible. He had a terrible game and he got replaced. Guess how many fantasy points he ended with? 13.
Yep.
He had 13. He had 13 points as a minimum price wide receiver. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Didn't run for a touchdown. So, I mean, we're if Greg Ward can make anything positive happen, and I mean, Memphis is not the Seattle Seahawks. They're fine. They're not bad, but they're not a great defense by any means. So I think you're definitely just overthinking it if you don't use Greg Ward. Would you agree with that, Ben?
Yeah, I think you're really overthinking it. I think it's just one of those plays where if you don't make it and everybody else makes it, and say he comes in and he's just on fire and rush. I don't care about what he throws for. I mean, he's got a good wide receiver in Deontay Greenberry, but what he rushes for is what's important. If he even
has 2 good drives, one of them ending with a touchdown, you're
bingo.
Oh yeah,
golden.
That's it.
And you're like the whole game. I mean, you're talking about an entire game. Even if they fall behind early and he stays in, assuming your beat writers or whoever is talking about that on Twitter is wrong, he gets that late touchdown. He pulls himself into value, really quickly. I mean, he's worthless on DraftKings. Don't even touch him as a quarterback. But as like this minimum price wide receiver on FanDuel, it doesn't make any sense to really to do anything other than that. Now, there's a couple other guys that you were mentioning that are listed as wide receivers that could impact other places, and that's like Sam Kraft on Memphis' side of the ball is listed as a wide receiver, 5,100 wide receiver on FanDuel, but he has been the replacement running back. He rushed for 38 times last game, was just awesome. I think it was the most rushing yards they've had in years. So it's important to monitor that situation to make sure Dorcius, I believe, is their leading rusher. He's out, but they have Brandon Hayes, who's been there. He's like a 6th-year senior who's been, in and out of the starting running back job, who's still there. And I believe he didn't play last game, which is what led Kraft to get the carries. But I don't know what's going on. I couldn't find his name listed on injury reports. I don't know why he missed last week. They didn't really say, I don't think. So he could come in and steal some carries, but even if Kraft gets 20 carries as a 5,100 wide receiver, it's a really good play there too.
Well, and I haven't gone, I'll be honest, I haven't gone all the way through prices yet on FanDuel or DraftKings, and made notes. Did they fix some of the wide receiver pricing? I know last week they had a bunch of guys that they meant to bump up in salary that they actually bumped down, like Mike Williams from Syracuse and whatnot.
Yeah, it's all fixed. For the most part,
yeah.
There's no sneaky crazy plays like Mike Williams last week.
Well, there is in the early slate. There's Alan Lazard.
I don't think that's a good play.
I don't think
that's good of a play.
Yeah, I don't think that's as sneaky either, just simply because of the way they kind of spread the ball. Sam Richardson's a dumpster fire when he's actually passing the ball. So that's a little bit more of
that's
a
mean,
legit.
And Lazard has done nothing all year long.
Well, he has.
Lazard's been okay.
Yeah, he has done. I mean, he's a freshman, so he's kind of one of those guys where you got to wait for him to build up. Not everybody just busts onto the scene and is awesome. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other guy. Wait. Before we go on, the other guy, the Deshaun Fox for Connecticut. Now, this is one that I stumbled upon. I was just looking at their receiving game, and so I stumbled upon Deshaun Fox, and I was curious because I kept reading all this stuff. Actually, I was looking at Jeremy Davis, their other big wide receiver, and I kept reading this stuff that Deshaun Fox, came in at the end of the game as a Wildcat quarterback / real quarterback, as like a running / passing option, dual threat dude. And I asked a couple beat writers but the coach came out this week and said he knows the playbook, he is an option at quarterback, and he's not a Wildcat gimmick quarterback. And so I asked a couple guys, I said, hey, what is this coach's talk, or is this real? I mean, is he trying to make Tulane prepare for this, or what's he doing there? And one guy said it's not real, the other guy said it is real. So it sounds like nobody really knows. But he's the number 2 receiver, so even in that you get something there.
Definitely should throw him in some GPP lineups.
Yeah, but he's not over these other 2 guys. So if you put the other 2 guys in, you're going to have way too much salary to even worry about throwing Deshaun Fox in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just get into it. Let's start talking about the early slate, looking at some quarterbacks. My guy in this slate is going to be Everett Golson. I think he's sort of the number 1 option for this slate. He handles a ton of their scoring, both rushing and passing on offense. Notre Dame is a pretty good team. UNC has allowed huge games to Shane Carden and Deshaun Watson. I think you just sort of have to. You don't have to play him, but he would be the guy that I'm going to use in most of my cash game lineups. Are you with that, Ben?
Yeah, I see he has more value on FanDuel. I don't see him as quite the must play on DraftKings because he has so many of those other 8K quarterbacks that have just as good of matchups right around him. But on FanDuel, they don't have the Cato. They don't have a couple of these other plays that you have options with on DraftKings. So he has a little bit more value, I think, there. But with that said, North Carolina, man, until they figure out what's going on with their holes in their defense, I have no problems going at them with anybody. I mean, even Virginia Tech with Michael Brewer was pretty successful. Now Brewer's just awful. He's nowhere near the quarterback Golson is. I mean, you're talking with Golson, people need to remember Golson is a Heisman front-running candidate. He is like a top 5 guy right now. So he impacts it with his arm, with his legs. All those things are very important when you're picking a college quarterback. Because I mean, even if he struggles with his arm, he's going to get some action with his legs. So yeah, I think he's where you start, and then you can use other guys to build around, and even maybe on DraftKings, maybe you can look at some other options.
Yeah. All right, Jordan. Other than Golson, who are some other quarterbacks in this early slate you're looking at?
Mariota, of course, is always in play, especially in Pac-12 games when those games can just turn into shootouts at any minute. A little bit cheaper, I like Dax Garman against my Jayhawks. He hasn't been anything exceptional this year except for that game against Texas Tech. But that just shows what he can do against a pretty bad defense. And the Jayhawks have not been good in any way at all. So I think Dax Garman has a lot of value, especially at 7,700 on FanDuel. He's a little more expensive than that on DraftKings. I don't hate Connor Cook at 6,700 on FanDuel. I don't know what his price is on DraftKings, but he's been a guy just flying under the radar everywhere. He hasn't been great by any means, but he's been solid. He's on DraftKings. He's been under 18 points just one time last week against Nebraska, a good defense. But they're just going to annihilate Purdue in every sense of the word.
Yeah, so. Here's a couple guys I'm not on that I think will be kind of popular plays. Clint Trickett and Trevone Boykin. Baylor, not terrible on defense.
No.
And
you're such a Gwendy sycophant.
It's
sycophant? I don't even know what that means, bro.
That's not even a word, Ben.
No, it is.
No, it's
but
not.
I don't think that means what Ben thinks it means.
That's not a word.
What does Ben think it means?
Like a hold on, I gotta Google to make sure.
Yeah,
a person
I think
who
he has
acts
it
obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain an advantage.
I don't know what that word means either.
Who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain an advantage. You're a brown noser.
Yeah, it means
Those are
suck
the
up.
like words.
It means suck up.
Yeah, that's what you are to Gwendy.
It's Gindy.
Gindy. All right, yeah. Well, before we came on here, Gindy got me all fired up because he brought up these guys, Boykin and Trickett. Which Trickett, I don't think is a bad play. I think he's got the Vegas lines, which is really great. You know, going forward. I mean, anybody who's seen this jump, it started at a 73, it's up to like a 79 some places. I mean, if this thing goes over 80, I mean, geez, I mean, you're going to see a lot of people that pay attention to those lines throwing a lot of that game in, like Trickett and White and Alford and, you know, even some Texas Tech guys. So, like, I understand that play. I don't get the Boykin play at all. Like, so Davis, you got to tell me, why do you like Boykin so much?
Davis is not on here anymore.
Davis said he's not on Trevone Boykin, which is smart.
He just said he was on Trevone Boykin.
He said those are two guys that he thinks other people will be on that he's not.
Oh, maybe I missed that part.
Yeah, you must have.
He broke up.
No, I'm back. I think Boykin and Trickett like aren't bad plays, but Trickett is just like he's just not very good. Like that's sort of my problem. Like I would just so much rather play Golson. Like I shouldn't say that I'm not on Clint Trickett. I just don't think I'm going to be on him as much as other people are on him. If that makes any sense.
The thing I like about Trickett is his two stud receivers that he has out there. Like Kevin White can fix a lot of mistakes, being how athletic and how just incredibly good at football he is. He can fix a lot of Clint Trickett's mistakes if they're in his area. And then Alford is just fast.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'll say this: if Peter is all over Golson, Oliver Trickett, I probably need to look into it a little bit more. I will say this: he'll probably have an insane player prop when they come out in the morning.
He would have had a really good game last week. They just couldn't convert in the red zone. They had so many field goals, but he just couldn't get any touchdowns last week. I say this because I rostered him.
I don't think Trickett is. I don't think he's a bad play. I just don't think that I will be like I'll have him on some teams, but Golson is going to be my top. Like he'll probably be in like 60 to 70% of my cash games. Trickett will probably like on DK. He'll probably be closer to like 30%. I don't know. Ben, what do you think about Trickett just in general for this week?
I like him better than Boykin, but
Yeah.
I think with all the other options, I just don't think it's necessary. I mean, I get that this game is going to score a lot of points and that he could do well, but to just automatically say, Trickett's the play just because Vegas says this game is going to score a lot of points, I think could be a little foolish. Just because you have guys like Cato, who has just as good a matchup against an MTSU defense that is probably worse against the pass than even Texas Tech is. And so you're playing a little bit more for him, but it's not enough to where, with all the other value plays where you've got to make that decision.
In college football, if you get the highest scoring quarterback, it doesn't matter what you just want to get the guy who's going to score the most points.
Yeah. You want points and you want consistency and you want, things like that. And I don't think you can just automatically assume Clint Trickett's going to do that because Texas Tech sucks and they fired their defensive coordinator. I get it, but they fired their defensive coordinator because their running defense sucks.
Their pass defense isn't terrible.
It's not, and it's because people just run the ball on it. Why would you pass when you can run the ball on it? Which it goes to the next point where West Virginia could really just hit wide a couple times, run the ball. So Shell has a lot of value, which I wrote him up. But I don't know if you're going to see a 400-yard, 4-touchdown game out of Trickett, which is what you're going to need because he doesn't run the ball. So you're going to need 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. If he doesn't get that, you lost.
And that's another thing is I sort of don't like paying up for a quarterback that can't get me 50 yards on the ground and a touchdown. That's just always you can do it, but just Shane Carden last week is an example of a quarterback that I thought paying up for was really optimal because the over-under was just and Carden's also really good. Trickett struggles with turnovers a lot, and that offense doesn't necessarily do a great job converting in the red zone. Ben, CSU is offering you a small wager. He'll take Trickett and you take Cato.
Now here's one little thing. I'm all for that, but you got to understand I'm an MTSU grad.
You also have to understand that Pete does not pay up on his wagers.
Oh no, but more importantly, you're asking me. It'd be like me telling you to go against CSU, which what is that? You'd have to pick Fajardo, I guess, in that Nevada playing CSU. So, it's kind of that same principle. So, it's a little tough. I mean, I'm going to play some Cato, but I don't really want to root that hard for him.
Yeah,
to where
that's fair. Let's move on though. We spent a lot of time talking about quarterbacks, early running backs that you like, Ben.
All right. So let me pull it up. I think that this is site specific. But Anthony Taylor, we saw what that guy can do last week. I mean,
you can't fade Anthony Taylor on FanDuel. Nope. Don't make a single lineup without him.
It's a Melvin Gordon for 2,600 or 2,500 cheaper. So
he's not that good, but
the matchup makes him that good though.
Yeah, exactly.
Is incredible. I'll give you that.
Okay, Jordan, we're not looking at actual talent. I'm not projecting Anthony Taylor to be the next
I'm just making sure
Heisman winner, but. I'm a Melvin Gordon fan. I always have been. I'm just saying, Anthony Taylor has this matchup against Eastern Michigan where, they've already decided he's going to get the ball 30 times a game. So if he gets the ball 30 times a game...
Guys.
Yeah.
Do you remember Zerlin Tipton versus EMU last year?
No, don't.
Oh, it was so good.
So good.
I don't think anything that great will ever happen to me in daily fantasy ever again. It was so amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those games where he could potentially have 4 touchdowns, especially if Buffalo lets Eastern Michigan stay in the game, which could very well happen. But then it's Melvin Gordon, guys. I mean, you know that. I think we'd all agree with Melvin Gordon as the next play, and he's a must play on DraftKings.
Better than Gurley.
He's not necessarily a must play on FanDuel because of Anthony Taylor, but I think he's just an unbelievable play on both sides because Illinois had 2 straight 200-yard guys. So you just got to automatically assume Melvin Gordon's going to do that same kind of damage.
Yeah, and then this is your space to talk about your boy Chubb, Benjamin.
Yeah, so sad. My other team is the Bulldogs. So I've followed Chubb, and I think I tweeted when we first recruited him that I can't wait till I get to write up Chubb. I can't wait till he gets into my write up. But here's the thing with Gurley. I like the matchup, and I think you're going to see some people on Twitter try to downplay Chubb and this whole matchup, but Missouri's defense against the run has not been good. And whatever reasoning people may give you for Missouri not being good against the or having some success against the run, I don't buy it. So like when you look at Chubb's matchup, he's a big back. He's 5'10", 230 pounds. He's fast. He has all the tools to be an every down back already. I mean, he's just a freshman, so he in sparing work, he's done really well. So like if they give him a full load, I think he's fully capable of paying off his min price, especially a 3K price on DraftKings. Like he's just right there with Pender. I mean, it just depends on who you want to do. They both have really good situations. So,
yeah. Is Sony Michel out for sure?
Yes, out for sure, no doubt. It's gonna be Chubb. They'll have Douglas. They have JJ Green, who has been.
I remember him from last year.
Yeah, he kind of came in last year when they had all the injury problems. Keith Marshall may be back this week. He's kind of a guy that could sneak in and grab some carries. He was a 1,000-yard back a couple years ago, but has struggled with injuries so bad. And it's Chubb's job. It is Chubb's job. There's no doubt about that. But like Marshall guy might come in, Douglas might come in, and then they also have McKenzie. I believe is his name, Isaiah McKenzie or something. He's like listed as a wide receiver, but he could also come in and get some carries. But Chubb's the guy.
I'm seeing Keith Marshall as doubtful, so that's one less.
Yeah, there was talk before the Gurley stuff that Marshall might make it back this week.
Okay. So those guys are mostly Anthony Taylor, straight FanDuel. Who are some other guys you're looking at on DraftKings, Jordan, at running back?
Since I can't play Anthony Taylor, I put in Russell Shell. Or however you said Russell, whatever it is.
It's definitely just Russell. That's what they said on the broadcast.
But yeah, Texas Tech fired their defensive coordinator because their rush defense was so bad. And Michelle torched KU last week. 113 yards and a touchdown. Caught a couple of passes. Like, if Clint Trickett doesn't have his game going, it's going to be all Shell. It'll be the Shell show. So I like that play a lot.
Shell shocked, am I right?
I mean, they do split carries a little bit, and they pass a ton, but I'm
not worried about splitting carries.
I think he's a good play, for sure.
He's cheap, too.
Yeah.
Other than him, Devin Johnson, they're starting to establish him. Marshall is on the ground. I think he's a solid play against Ben's homeboys. He went for 40 points last week. I don't see that happening again, but that could happen. I like Samaj Perine against Texas. He just went up against TCU and scored, 3 touchdowns last week? And I think they're a much better rush defense than Texas, so...
I hope the Luch is not in chat.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the Luch blocked me because he kept trying to tell me on Twitter how bad of a play Perine was. Then after Perine scored his 3rd touchdown, he just blocked me instead of dealing with me trolling him.
Smart to BH.
Yeah. So smart. Everyone on Twitter should try it. All right, let's go to wide receivers. I think Kevin White, I'm just shoehorning him into my lineup. I feel like I sort of feel like if you want to get exposure to Trickett and the West Virginia passing game, I think maybe the way I would do it would actually be to play White or Alford instead of paying up for Trickett. Although something is wrong with me with my Clint Trickett evaluation because some really good players like CSU are on him. But are you paying up for Kevin White, Benjamin?
As of right now, I've made 6 lineups on DraftKings and I have 3 on FanDuel. I'm probably going to make a 4th on FanDuel, and that one will probably have Kevin White. But all the other ones do not.
Yeah, I think it's easier to play on FanDuel.
You think
DraftKings? I want to pay up for my quarterbacks on DraftKings, or in the early slate at least. So, and Melvin Gordon is 8,600. So that makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that. I don't know. Who are some mid-price wide receivers you like, Ben?
For the early slate, we're looking at I think that's where you're going to make your money at. I think this is where you're, especially on DraftKings where there's a ton of them. You can build in all those guys. If you want White, if you want exposure to that West Virginia game, you need to build some of these guys in, especially if you fade the Chubb and Pender plays. Fade the Chubb. That's a hashtag right there.
Fade the Chubb.
So no, I like DeQuell Williams. I think he's just grossly underpriced for his skill level. Duke. Yeah.
That's so dumb.
If you want to call him Duke, it's Duke Williams.
That's how it's pronounced.
No way. No,
No,
that's
no. I was watching the broadcast, and they said that's how it's pronounced. It's not a nickname.
No, you're a liar.
Look it up.
Okay, well, I've heard him called Duke, but I just figured that was his nickname. But yeah, he's just grossly underpriced for DraftKings. I'm not going to touch him on FanDuel, but Mississippi State's let teams stay in with the passing game, so it's a sneaky play. I think Auburn pulls away in that game and wins it. So like he's sneaky, but Jordan Taylor, by far, Davis is my favorite.
Oh, I remember the last time you told me to play Jordan Taylor.
You know what?
He dropped a touchdown and only had one catch for 1 yard, Ben.
You know, we probably were a week too early on that play.
Well, he was still hurt.
Yeah. And
He was still hurt.
You know, like it's like a Calvin Johnson thing. You know, they put him out there, but he's not really there. So I think he's back. He had 100 yards last week and a touchdown against Hawaii. And we talked about Army struggling against big guys in the write-up, and I've tweeted it out. It's just it's a gimme play. As Rice throws the ball a lot, they're going to be focused on getting Jordan Taylor the ball, and he's going to score a touchdown. I just think it's inevitable. So he's a guy that you just need to throw in all your lineups, and then you can put whoever else you want to around him.
All right, before we go over, we'll go tight ends, and then we'll start in the late slate real quick. What do you think about Antoine Goodley? I played him last week, and he was okay. He got his first touchdown of the year. But it feels like Petty's not playing like the best football of his career, and mostly probably because he's hurt. You know, his freaking vertebrae is cracked. But what do you think about these Baylor wide receivers, Ben?
Yeah, TCU's defense is legit.
They are.
Baylor had trouble last week against a legit defense. Not saying they do the same this week, but to just sit there and try to peg the right play.
I mean, I'm just saying if this was last year and one of the top 2 wide receivers in the Baylor offense was 7,000 on FanDuel, we'd be all over it. But it doesn't feel like quite the same offense.
They just have so many options. It's the same thing like when you look at Cal just with like the cheaper version of the Baylor offense. Like all those guys can score touchdowns. It's just who. And I think you're on the right track. Goodley's the guy that you'd want to own.
Well, Goodley's the big one, so
Rashad Green's what, 7? He's like the same price.
The same exact price.
Lippett is about the same price too. So
you love Tony Lippett.
Not as much as D'Angelo Yancey. Someone in chat just mentioned that name.
He's trolled me for a year about D'Angelo Yancey. I mean, geez, there's going to be guys that I'm going to miss when you write
hot
up
takes go bad. Tonight at 11.
All right, let's do tight ends real quick. Then let's go late slate. My tight end, I'm just playing Tyrese Russell from EMU. I know they suck and they're going to get beat by a bunch, but Tyrese Russell is like an athletic freak. He's sort of their number one option in the passing game. So I'm going to use him for 3,200 on FanDuel. You have any problems with that, Ben?
No, I don't. I'm running like all my tight ends right now are Koyak and Price, but I'm going to adjust, and Christian. I have one Christian, but I'm going to adjust off of some of my price. I'm like 80% Price, Josiah Price, but I'll go to McManus a little bit for Marshall if I find out that Devontae Allen's out. But that's going to hinge on that because I don't know that for sure.
Yeah. Do you have any tight end hot takes, Jordan?
I just hate tight ends so much.
Yeah.
Blake Bell is super cheap. Finally.
Hey, I got a guy that we could talk about.
Go for it, Ben.
Jimmy Mundane.
Yeah.
Jordan's guaranteed touchdown from last week.
I didn't guarantee it. I said if he hits one, but he didn't. He caught a pass.
Oh,
caught a pass.
Good job.
Caught a pass. He's caught a pass in every game this year.
Oh, well, he's clearly GOAT.
He's GOAT. Clearly.
Okay. Let's go late slate. So let's talk about quarterbacks that are not min-priced wide receivers. Late slate quarterbacks, Ben, go.
Cardin, it's an easy play. If you want to just go chalk, I think Cardin, even against South Florida, is a good play. Golf on FanDuel, you know, they've got these stretch over games that some are DraftKings early and some of them are FanDuel late, and Golf's a late slate FanDuel play, but I like it. The way they've been throwing the ball, it's just ridiculous. So he's always a good play. But my favorite, probably that people might overlook, is Kevin Ellison. Triple option quarterback. 100-yard per game type running quarterback that playing a defense that averages 6.3 yards per carry against, which is like bottom 3 teams in the whole country. So, like, it's one of those games where you see a triple option team playing against a bad run defense, and you just got to assume they're going to put up 300+ rushing yards. So he's a great play at 7,700 on FanDuel.
Yeah.
But wait. I do want to get you guys' take, because there's like, I think a lot of debate on this late slate of how people feel about Siler Miles, because you've seen what Cal has been destroyed all year with the passing game, and then let Halliday score record touchdown or record yardage last week. So he's the guy that I think everybody's going to want to touch with gloves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not that play, but it's also could be the play. You know what I'm saying?
I hope people play him, because that offense is bad. He hasn't done anything this year. Has anyone in that offense been productive consistently? I don't think
there's
so.
nobody that's been consistent. No.
Yeah. I don't want any part of that offense.
What do you think, Davis?
No.
What does Vegas have this line at? I don't know it off the top of my
It's
head.
high last time I saw it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
at
really
70.
interested as to why you wrote up Tyler Heineke after he was so bad last week.
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I think Marshall's pass defense, who I'd heard they were acclaimed before last week, but I just thought they might not be real, and they lived up to the billing. They called themselves the no-fly zone, which is, I mean, they were great. And those, I was worried about that. I mean, we talked about this in the chat. I was worried about that whole offense, and that's why I stayed away from them. But just the fact that I think they bounced back against a weaker defense this week. I don't take things over from week to week like that. I mean, I just think they ran into a good pass defense and lost.
Yeah. I'll tell you that I'm probably going to play Cale Pearson in a couple of GPP lineups. I love triple option quarterbacks so much, and sometimes it burns you in cash games, because if they fall behind, things get ugly pretty quick. But for GPPs, I love all triple option quarterbacks pretty much.
I love his game logs for that price.
There's no way he falls behind, or Ellison falls behind early. There's no way.
I don't know, dude. Garrettson has been really good behind Chucky Keaton.
Well, why are we talking about Utah? Oh, are you talking about Cale Pearson?
Yeah, Cale Pearson.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was back on Kevin Ellison. I thought you were talking about triple option quarterback. Cale Pearson, they throw the ball more than the normal option offense.
Which is good. Don't talk me into him as my late slate. Don't you do it. For me in college football, triple option quarterbacks are like Georgia Tech wide receivers in the NFL. You can pretty much guarantee that I'm gonna love them. Yeah. Like, I'm just all about that life. Yeah. Are there any other quarterbacks you need to talk about? Is there anyone you didn't write up that I'm missing?
Cody Kessler.
Oh yeah.
What a train wreck. F that guy.
Arizona's so bad against the pass.
F that guy.
F that guy says.
First game of the year, he went off against Fresno State, who is a similar defense to Arizona.
Whoa.
Arizona's defense isn't good.
But they're undefeated, man. Just go ahead and
is so good.
They can't be that well. They score a lot, so they give up a lot of yards. I mean, when you look at USC, if you want exposure to that, don't do it the Kessler way. Do it through Buck Allen and Aguilar and
Allen. Late slate.
Buck Allen.
Buck Allen. Hey man.
All right. Well, that's a good transition.
It's more of a GPP play.
Let's do running backs. Yeah, Aaron Jones. All to Aaron Jones's for show. I think you have to do him on both. Well, actually, that price tag on DraftKings is outrageous.
I was about to say, sure. You can do him on FanDuel. I don't think he's.
Yeah, wow, 9,800 on DK is so insane. Like Gurley and Abdullah don't even get that high.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
He struggled the last 2 games too, which is just blows my mind that they put that price tag on him.
It blows my mind.
Soccer Dave is so drunge right now.
His southern accent's coming out.
Yeah, for sure. Talk to me about Matt Breida, because I like using running backs from triple option offenses hurts. It just hurts, Ben.
Yeah, it's a risky play, but it's one that he's been pretty consistent even with the lack of carries and consistent carries. I mean, Gindy was the first guy that ever even put that guy on my radar. I mean, I understood that Georgia Southern was good and had been kind of keeping tabs on him. They could be undefeated right now. They had really close games. I wrote this up that they had really close games against NC State and Georgia Tech that came down to the last second. So like. They're a really good team, and to think that Beretta should just run through Idaho as just a big play at 6,500 on FanDuel. I think he could actually even be rostered with Ellison. So it's one of those guys where I can understand fading him because of the triple option thing, and I'll probably be more inclined to go with like Terrace Jones Grigsby and spend a little bit more on my running backs than do the Beretta play, but it's not a bad play. It's a fantastic play, really.
Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with all of that. Let's see if there's any other cheap guys. Laka versus Wyoming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that price tag on DraftKings is pretty nice.
What do you guys think about D Hart?
Nevada's been pretty good. Nevada's been pretty good against the run, right?
Not really. Middle of the pack.
Yeah.
What do you think about D Hart, Ben?
He's been the last couple weeks.
Yeah, he's been good, but he's not getting consistent carries. It's kind of one of those situations where you got to get all your production out of 10 carries or 12 carries. I don't really like doing that. He's pretty expensive for a guy that does that. I mean, yeah, I'm with Jordan. It's a good play. It's just kind of one of those ones where you're risking a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Real quick, we had a question about the early slate running backs in chat, Ben. John Hilleman for Boston College.
Yeah, I like him. I don't think he's necessary, but I think
Williams.
What'd you say?
He's the next Andre Williams.
No.
Ben dude, we have to cut Dave off. He has had enough of whatever it is that he's drinking.
L8 won.
He's not quite as big. He's not quite as big as old Andre Williams was, but like I think he's a good back. I'm glad that he's taken that job and ran with it. It's not a play I think is necessary this week.
Okay. Late slate wide receivers. This is where it gets fun. Mm-hmm. I'm of the mind that Joshua McCain is a pretty good play against Georgia Southern. He was definitely awesome when he was min-priced, and there was very little risk in rostering him. Are you on him again this week, Ben?
Yeah, I am, because I think that they're going to fall behind early, and they're going to have to throw the ball. They throw a lot, so I think that's an easier play.
Okay. Jordan, are there any late slate wide receivers you think we should pay up for? Rashard Higgins or Amari Cooper?
Yeah, I like Rashard Higgins a lot against that Nevada defense that is giving up. I mean, what are they giving up through the air? A lot. 302 yards through the air. So if Rashard Higgins gets 160 and 2 touchdowns, there you go. There's close to 30 points. And
I'm so tilted I didn't roster him last week.
Yeah, you should have.
Well, don't get me started, man.
And this is just as good, if not of a better matchup than last week.
Yeah,
he's priced for it though. Like, my God,
he's worth it.
Yeah,
he's worth it. In my opinion,
if you pay that on DK, you are gonna contract AIDS from paying that price.
What?
That's what I was saying.
Maybe not on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I think you can do it.
I don't know about the AIDS, but I think Amari Cooper I like better on I guess he's a FanDuel slate for this one, but I like it better on FanDuel than Higgins.
All of the Greg Wards and the Sam Crafts though. That's happening.
I don't know about all the Sam Kraft, but
nah, I'm going ham on that Sam Kraft.
We just need a little bit of confirmation on that situation before the before the slate starts.
If I can hear something like he's gonna be the starting running back, then I'll take him. What's the most tilting coaching staff I could find in all of college football? The freaking Marshall coaching staff.
Yeah, they don't say anything.
They don't. I looked at Don Best. They don't have any injury reports listed for them. You can't find it on Twitter. You can't find shit on the internet. There's nothing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Family show.
This is not a
Deserved,
family show.
it deserved a curse word, David.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where like it's so frustrating, like just to deal with them because I mean I want to roster some of their options like Gene Luis and Deontay McManus. It's just you just can't find out anything about them. It pisses me off. Go Blue Raiders.
I think Dominic Ruffran on DraftKings is there for a pretty nice price. I don't know. Is there a quarterback situation? Like, I know that Brett Smith didn't end up being anything in the NFL, but he was a pretty good college quarterback. Is their new quarterback just terrible, Ben?
Sorry, I was busy enjoying these little touchdowns that just happened. Whose new quarterback were you talking about?
Dominic Ruffran.
Kirkgard is not good.
He's bad.
Yeah, he's really bad. But Ruffran's good. So, like, this is kind of one of those plays where you're just hoping. You're hoping that Ruffran gets some targets and gets to do what he can do. But it's not one of those things where you can bank on anything at all.
I think the guy that I want from that Wyoming offense is Sean Wick. Hawaii's not good against the run, and he gets... Okay, last week he got 5 carries. But he gets 50 carries. He gets
that
somewhat
game,
involved in the pass game.
I'm totally with you, Jordan. That game, though, that you're talking about against Michigan State, they got behind way early and just gave up on the run game.
And he's still got 15.8 DraftKings points because he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, he broke that big run. I saw it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Did not.
Okay.
See it.
That works for me.
I was watching it because I was rooting for Lippett.
All right. Well, let's do tight ends then in a slate. I have no opinion on any of these guys. Would you pay $5,000 for Jonnu Smith on DraftKings in a tournament lineup, Ben?
No, I wouldn't. But I felt like he needed to be written up. I think that UT San Antonio's tight end's really good, David Morgan, but he's injured. He's not going to be in this game. So he'd be a great play, but he's just not there. I think that if you need to go cheaper than Joe, there's just no reason to pay for that. Go punt. Gibson's a good option. Ingram's always a good option, but I would just punt it. And
why are tight ends still a thing?
Yeah, it should be a flex.
They're like the
it should
kickers
be a
in the NFL.
Yeah, it should totally be a flex spot.
They're very they're difference makers though. If you F them up and there's a guy like a men play like you saw yesterday with Mahina with 2 touchdowns, if you didn't have him.
I'm so pissed at myself. Stop.
Davis sounds like that guy that first starts playing daily fantasy and does I had him in my lineups, but then
Well, no. He is in my lineup. I just forgot to click export all.
I forgot to export.
I'm such a donkey. No one should take daily fantasy advice from me.
Nope.
That is like the number one rookie thing to do, though. Like
I
take fantasy advice from Davis.
I totally believe you, but it's between that and man, I was going to play the 109. Look at this $2 GPP lineup. That's another one.
I think my favorite story ever in daily fantasy actually is something like that. Jordan forgot to enter the $11 GPP on Draft Street on July 4th, and he had the winning score by like 13 points, and he only entered it in cash games. Cost himself $10,000 just because he forgot to enter.
I was in a rush because I was in a hurry to just go out and hang out with my friends and do whatever, and I'm like, all right, click, click, click. Okay, I'm done.
I hope
and
he
then
was worth
it went off.
Yeah, go.
Can we make a FanDuel lineup?
Yeah, let's do it.
I agree. Can we make Brian Burrell do something in the second half, please?
Nope.
Like 4 Josh Harper touchdowns?
All the money is leaving our accounts.
I'm still cashing.
That's what I mean. You guys, you had to know. Like, if you're playing, are you talking Thursday, Friday slates, or are you just talking Friday?
Thursday, Friday.
Okay, I'm okay with Thursday, Friday, but if you just played Friday slate today, that's just.
So adding in the BYU game really just helped our degenerate, helped us not be as degenerate. I don't think that's how that works, dude.
The Mormons help. They keep it holy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let me share my screen real quick. All right.
Yeah, I'm actually going to enter. Are we doing early or late?
Early on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'm actually going to enter this one. Last week I saved over it on accident.
Yeah. All right. We'll give Ben first pick. I'll take second pick. Jordan, you can have the wrap, and we'll just go back.
I won't
Ben,
skip this time, I promise.
Are we doing an early slate?
Yeah, and then we'll do a late on DraftKings.
Okay.
Or we'll actually just do a late on FanDuel.
That's cool.
Hold on.
So early and late on, or just late on FanDuel?
I'm gonna set us up. I'm gonna go Chubb.
All right. And I'm going to take Golson. Jordan.
Let's go Anthony Taylor.
All right, you have 2 picks, Jordan.
Let's do...
Be better.
Sorry.
Don't screw our draft up this time.
I'll try not to.
Jordan, you are adorable. You really are.
Why don't you ask him to take his shirt off again?
He's an adorable little capuchin monkey.
He is an adorable little capuchin monkey.
Hate you all.
Jordan, hurry up, dude.
Tony Lippett. Sorry, you distracted me by being mean.
All right, Ben, it's on you again.
Shiz, I have this team. Y'all better not put my team out there.
Are you serious?
Y'all better not put my team out there.
Y'all better not put my... well, hell, let's just go ahead and do it. Rashad Green.
All right.
So well.
So
and these last 2 picks are mine. Take Tyrese Russell.
You would.
Ooh.
And, Sammy Coates. Boom. Yeah, that's who I want. So, that's our team.
What about Alonzo Russell? You don't think that's a good one?
Too late.
No, Alonzo Russell is a fine play, too. But Sammy Coates is like 6'9".
Okay.
I mean, that's not true, but...
Well, this time Davis messed up our team.
Oh, this time I messed up our team. All right.
You should have.
All right, let me save this lineup, and then I'll go pull up a DraftKings one. You guys want to do DraftKings, or do you want to do FanDuel late since it's fun with all the wide receivers?
Let's do.
I think it's easier to do this on FanDuel because you make a big purchase on DraftKings and you screw your whole rest of your team up if you're not paying attention.
Wait, so I was not paying attention to what you guys just said at all. DraftKings.
FanDuel late.
Right.
FanDuel late.
Yeah, Jordan, how often do you think you say something to me during the day and I'm like, yeah, sorry, just was not listening to you?
Yeah,
at all?
probably like 40% of the things I say to you, you just don't hear or just choose not to acknowledge because you're so engulfed in your computer or your phone or whatever you're doing.
He does that when he hosts. He's like typing in the chat. You can tell because like, yeah.
Try living with him. I want to strangle him sometimes.
I do that same thing, Davis. Dude, you are a little mini man.
If Ben and I had daily fantasy around when we were in college, it'd have been game over.
All right, we're gonna enter this. We're gonna enter this in the $25 GPP.
I would have never got married, to be honest, because I wouldn't have been out of the house.
This is still early only.
It's true.
Yeah, thankfully, I met my girlfriend at an activity that I had to do out of the house.
What's this I hear about Jordan not getting the number of his waiter?
So,
Waitress?
it was the worst, man. Like, took Jordan out for his birthday, bought him a steak. There's this cute waitress, and we were like, Jordan, bruh, you obviously gotta lay some back down. And he just wanted to be a little capuchin monkey and hide his face behind his hands and play with his little monkey fingers. And then he didn't want to talk to her, so I wrote his number on his receipt for him.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
I hate you so much sometimes.
Gindy is very disappointed in you, as am I.
It's just weird to like go out and have 5 guys sitting around a table. I don't know. That just seems weird.
Jordan.
Yes, David. I can't see you.
I'm in the same boat as you. Like,
if I'm gonna flirt with a girl, I want it to be like one-on-one.
How are you in the same boat as him? You are married with a child, David.
Yeah, but do you know how I contacted my wife?
Facebook.
MySpace.
MySpace.
No, that was Ben.
Oh, bullshit. That's not the way it happened, big boy.
Anyways, no, it was like after we'd met, like instead of getting her number in front of a bunch of middle school kids, because we chaperoned a middle school trip together, I messaged her on Facebook because like people see me and like, I mean, you've seen pictures of when I was like, like Jordan. like Jordan, take your shirt off. That's pretty much like how I was back in the day. I never got in. It just was never me. Like I don't have Gindy or Tommy G or even Davis Maddock. Like I don't have that, and I've never had. So I understand, Jordan. Like,
Thanks, David.
I understand what it's like to be
You
a
just
pussy.
put me in the same category as Gindy and
heard,
Tommy G.
Dude, I totally just heard that. I don't know.
Oh wait, hold on. Can I say the
What?
most ridiculous thing that exists
Davis,
about
have you
Jordan
seen?
Case?
Davis, have you seen your girlfriend?
We live directly beneath
Oh my
six hot
God.
sorority girls,
No,
and he
no,
doesn't even
no.
know their names.
I know their name. I know 3 of their names. Okay, these are 6 of the dumbest humans on this planet. They are just horrible people to be around.
Jordan,
Yeah.
who cares, man?
Yeah, that's what we tell him every time.
What the heck, dude?
You want to hear? I'll take my microphone out by the vent so you can hear how stupid they are.
No,
I mean, right now they're listening to Katy Perry and
And they're
drinking.
singing along incredibly loud.
so does David.
Yeah, and Davis loves Taylor Swift, so I'm not sure where the.
Also, only one of those, maybe 2 of those girls is attractive.
Well,
I don't know.
They're just horrible.
My girlfriend's prettier than all of them, so I don't really care.
oh, look at you!
He's
Dude,
right.
My girlfriend is awesome. So
You keep growing that hair out.
Davis
you
is
might be
batting way
prettier
out
than
of
your
his league.
girlfriend.
oh, it's ridiculous, dude. She's like I'm in like football league too, and she's in the Premier League.
Davis, can you take off your bucket hat and do like a hair flip?
I'm not gonna do a hair flip, but I'll show
David,
everyone.
show us your
how I
High
do
School
my hair.
Musical hair.
It is. It's pretty great.
Show the High School Musical hair.
Just right like that.
Yeah, like you look
Your camera's terrible.
like a. Okay, can I say?
He looks like he should be in High School Musical.
Well, kind of. He looks like kind of a lesbian with that haircut.
I'll take it. All right,
He'll take it.
guys, college football late. Let me share my screen. I'm gonna take the first pick this time. Ben, Jordan, you're second because your
Sweet.
brain works too slow to make 2 back-to-back picks.
Hey, I can do this. I got the screen pulled up and everything. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. So I'm gonna take first pick, and I'm gonna take Shane Carden. Ben, it's you. Jordan, it's you. My bad.
No, Ben can go second. You took my
No,
pick.
god damn it, Jordan.
Okay.
Whoa,
Okay. We will do.
that's worse. That's worse than shit.
Give Nelson
David. Just
Nelson
like to
Aguilar.
point that out.
Nelson Aguilar.
This is a terrible pick.
No, that's a great pick.
It's not terrible.
All right,
Davis.
Ben, back-to-back picks.
Greg Ward Jr.
All right.
I have a pretty good feeling that Nick. Well, shoot. Let's do Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
What were you gonna say about Nick?
Nick Wilson.
Nick Wilson's gonna miss this game.
That's what they're
you
saying.
think so?
That's what they're
Yes.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Terrace Jones Grigsby to get all the carries.
All right, I'm going Matt Breida, and now Ben, you have another pick. Wide receiver and a tight end,
What? How's it my turn?
because no, it's Jordan's turn.
Yeah,
I'm bad
my
at this.
turn.
I'm a
Yeah,
bad
you really-
host.
You really are.
Let's go Evan Ingram.
All right.
It's hard because with tight ends, I think most people just
Wow, how weird is this? We have the exact same number left to spend on a third wide receiver that we did
Yeah,
in the
we
last
do.
lineup.
Oh my god.
That's weird.
That's so,
Destiny or something like that.
Gosh.
Devin Funches. No, I see.
Hunter Sharp.
Yeah, I think that's what we got to do.
Davis just sound like a sorority girl for what it's worth.
Dude, a lot of people don't know this. I actually basically am a sorority girl.
Oh, he is.
Well, I mean, I think you'd be shocked at the people who do know that.
I don't think you have to go Hunter Sharp. I think there's some other guys at the 6.
Well, we
range.
took Hunter Sharp.
I like Hunter Sharp.
Is that who we took?
Did we? I don't even know whose pick it is.
It's your
It's-
pick.
Oh, is it my pick? Okay, we're taking Hunter Sharp.
Okay. Jeez.
Don't yell at me, Ben.
Damn. You guys frustrate.
Never have
All right.
kids, Benjamin.
Well, those were our lineups.
3. They frustrate me too.
You have 3 kids?
Yeah, they're in
Ben
bed.
is
Know
an
that?
old man.
Hey Ben, do
They're
you
good. They're great kids though.
Ben, do
Yes.
you want to get your ass beat in FIFA when we're done with this show?
Ayo.
You always want to play me when I'm a little bit on the tipsy side. So yeah, I'll play you.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions for us about daily fantasy college football? Because this is the portion of the show where we'll answer your questions.
Man, it's
Chad
light up.
Chad is so
With-
dead.
Good job.
We lost a bunch of people when we started talking about the sorority girls who live up there.
Yeah, we did. Wow, there's like no one left.
Oh.
It's the same people that are left. They're just probably.
They don't have any questions left because they are
Because
amazing.
they read my write-ups.
Tuttle has a great idea for us to stream me playing you at FIFA with my mic on.
Can we do that when I'm sober? Like,
Here's the thing.
No!
there's a lot of button mashing going on in FIFA, and
I don't
my
even know what
delayed
you just
reflexes are not going to help me much.
If you're button mashing, you're playing FIFA wrong.
Dude, we
my gosh.
learned how to do
Such a
finesse
wanker.
shots this week. Like I'll score on you from like 40 yards out.
It's so tilting until you do it yourself, and then it feels pretty great.
I'm glad y'all have FIFA practice.
Davis plays FIFA more than
After-
I've ever seen anyone do anything ever.
Yeah, see, big
It's
boys
like
have,
8
don't
hours
have
a
time
day.
for that stuff. So, but
Oh,
he's
no,
got better.
But Jordan,
He-
he's so busy though. He doesn't have time for sleep.
Oh yeah, that's all. All he
This
does
week
is play
this
FIFA.
week has not been busy. This week I haven't had to do a single paper this week. It's been a really relaxing week. So it's pretty nice. I played some NHL this week. Goat. All right. Well, no one wanted to ask us any questions.
Someone
They've
mentioned Jimmy
mentioned-
Hunt.
Yeah,
I like him.
I do too. I think he's a sneaky play,
Hmm
Yeah.
but it's just kind of like, how are you going to fit him in with all these? Other...
I just don't like Matty Mock after
He sucks.
he
I
pooped
hate
on
him.
me in that GPP. Like I'm over him. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Because that's how I play daily fantasy.
We got to ask Lasco or Beretta, and I put Beretta. I think we're all in agreement on that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I don't know. I think that should probably do it for us today, right? I don't know if do we have any other hot takes we need to drop? Ben, do you want to drop a like a Clint Triggett sucks hot take or something?
No, and I know I'm backing myself into a corner on that whole freaking game, and I don't want to do that because I think it has potential to score every bit of those 78 points. It's just, man, I just don't see why you have to do that, but that's what makes college football great. I was telling Gindy there's a lot of different ways you can get to the promised land of, however many points you need.
Are you saying that because he's Jewish?
No. I didn't really think about that, but I guess that's a possibility.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin Wyatt or Amari Cooper?
I hope he's watching right now. I don't know if he is anymore.
Kevin Wyatt.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Kevin
I thought I already covered that.
I typed Kevin White in the chat.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Amari Cooper, so I win.
No.
I love Kevin White. I think he's legit. I think he's every bit as good, if not better, than Amari Cooper. It's just Amari Cooper is the focus, and Blake Sims just targets him ridiculously. So, like, if I can get exposure to him, I'd rather do that. They're about the same price.
I think Kevin White is just a better talent.
Yep. Well, Amari Cooper's real good.
Oh, he is. He definitely is, but I think Kevin White's better.
Amari Cooper
It's
is
just
gonna,
my opinion.
Amari Cooper is going to look ridiculous in my model when he comes out, for sure. So will Kevin
Is he
White.
not going
Well,
to be Sammy Watkins?
what? No, he's bigger.
Is he?
Yeah, White's not that big, so I don't actually know what White will look like. But for college football, he's pretty damn good. Yeah. All right. Well. Oh yeah, Cooper is definitely going to be drafted higher than White. Rashard Higgins, I don't know. Like, it's always hard to know how these smaller conference guys are going to look in an athleticism model because they can do more with less athleticism.
Amari Cooper is not big, dude. 6'1",
He's-
200 pounds.
200 pounds is fine. He's like that's Sammy
Kevin
Watkins
White's
size.
6'3", 210.
Okay, well, then,
Davis.
Yeah, White's gonna look well. Okay.
Davis.
I didn't know his size. I didn't know his size. Then White'll
Just
probably
say-
be. White'll probably be a little bit better in my model if he has the speed. He might not though. Like if you run a 4.5, you're gonna like not be very good. IMO. Well, your speed score is just not gonna be as good when it's adjusted for height and weight.
They're making some pretty hefty comparisons to Amari Cooper as far as NFL talent. They think he's
I've
like.
learned
Oh,
that NFL
fuck
touch
you,
is
Billy
really slick
Butler.
live.
Billy Butler, GIDP.
Well, that will do it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you on Sunday for a Q&A fantasy football show. 12 Eastern, 11 Central Time. Good luck in your matchups, and if you haven't already subscribed to our content, do so. Yes. Thanks to Ben Pritchett, Davis Maddock, and the adorable Jordan Case.
Adorable like a little capuchin.
Jordan, can you just look at the camera and wink?
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
It's for you, Davis.
Meow. Those sorority girls don't even know what's below them.
David, I can wink.
No, they do. Jordan just won't talk to them.
I don't like them. I wouldn't mind if they all just disappeared forever.
Jordan, they are ooh.
They're just
OMG.
terrible.
They're ooh. You guys haven't heard that song yet, so
No.
it doesn't ring true. All right. See y'all later.